All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Spike Kool-Aid for Monday, the 16th of October, 2023, and we got a show for you today. Let me pop this chat out real quick. I had a job to do. I just got home, had to put on my sweater, and we can get this thing moving. Let me shout out the chat. What's up, Robin's Nest, Rick, we got Rick in the building. Mac, Win, Bucky is in the building. What's up? This has been a long time coming. Absolutely. Durham says, my man, what's up? Shake and Bake. Parker, what's up, bro? What's going on, Parker? Good to see you, my man. I hope you can make it this Sunday. We are here, man. We are here. What's up, Justin? Cohen, Chris is in the building as well. Okay. So first of all, let me pull up some Detroit stuff because I've been all over the place, y'all. I'm sorry. We got to talk about MVP for Jared Goff. Probably won't happen, but he's playing at a MVP level right now. The Detroit Lions can beat the 49ers. I was scared of them until yesterday, but they got beat. Now, the Browns do have the number one defense in the league, but they also were playing with Philip Walker. Man. They can win. The Lions can officially, after yesterday, beat anybody. And it's not just what the Lions did. It is, okay, let me pull some stuff up. We'll be taking chat questions as well. I got blocked last night's streams for saying, Bucky, who blocked you, bro? Well, you probably don't know that. No, yes, you do. Who blocked you? And you got blocked or timed out. I'll check that on my other channel after the show. If ESPN is giving us the respect we deserve. Goff MVP. Watson was a bum. Okay, Watson did not play yesterday, Patty. He's been out for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Yo, Derek, we should be scared of running back depth. We are. We're banged up and we're still 1-5. Rick and Grit. That's only gonna last so long, bro. Bro, you almost made, man. Derwin, stop, bro. Bro, you can't do that to me. Bro, stop it. But we got to talk about, should the Lions sign Leonard Fournette? I mean, we got Mohamed Ibrahim. We have Jamar Jackson as well. I'm sorry, Jamar Jefferson. Justin Jackson. Can we please talk about Justin Jackson real quick? Okay. So people were talking about we should just bring back Justin Jackson. I'm like, Justin Jackson retired. Do y'all watch the team? Do you stay with the news? I mean, what are we talking about here? Justin Jackson retired on his own. I don't see him coming back. According to my Denver guy, because I guess he used to play for Denver for a little while, he said that he has he wants to do more than just play football. And obviously his passion was not in the game anymore. You could kind of see it. I know I was at training camp and you could just see it, man. It wasn't really there, man, but you can't do me like that, bro. What's up, KD? What's going on, man? He's in the game shape. I think Fournette would be nice. All right, let's make that our first segment. Hold on, because this is killing me here. My lights are glaring off of this monitor. One of my monitors, man. But our Lions are 5-1, and we are third in the conference. Even though the Niners and Eagles lost yesterday, I think they have some conference wins. So because we have one conference loss, we are underneath them. And I think after that, they would have went by points, but we are still third. I'm very intrigued to see where we're going to move up in the power rankings. Check this out, y'all. Dallas has a chance to go 3-3 tonight, so I will be rooting for the Los Angeles Chargers. They have a chance to drop to 3-3. The Dallas Cowboys, the team that was ahead of our Detroit Lions, have a legitimate chance to be 3-3, 500 today. Rainbow Girl in the bill. What's up, RG? You've been a little feisty lately. What's going on with you? I can send you the coat back if you need it. You've been a little, I like it though. I do like it. But don't like the feisty ladies. But you've been a little feisty in the comment section. What's going on? I'll send you an air hug. No Chark. I'm an old man, and in the 67 years I've been watching the Lions, this year has been the greatest of all them put together. D-Mac, that's facts. Wait, what's happening? Stephen A. Smith, stop it. Stephen A. Smith need to quit. You need to quit. Sick of him. Number one. You know what? You just be ready to laugh at the Cowboys tonight. Excuse me. This I got this free, man. I had to use my points today. Detroit Lions, Virgo Lights, Spec is my name. Okay. What's up, Antoine? What's good with you? All right. So let me pull up Antoine. I was going to call the brother Antoine Fournette. All right. So the first order of business is, do you think the Lions need a running back? I think we do. I think that their first thing they're going to try to do is bring back, in my opinion, somebody we already know, a Jamar Jefferson or a, what's the other dude's name? Mohammed. But here's the thing about both of those guys. They have to be able to clear the settlement. So you were cut with the injury settlement. You have to be able to clear that plus an extra 3 weeks. We're going into week 7. So my guess is they would have to wait 3 more weeks. They could probably come back after this game. So do you think the Detroit Lions should wait at all? Is David going to miss a couple of games? Okay, so Katie, according to Dave Briquette, he's going to miss some time. That could be 1 game. It could be 3 games. Then I got another guy who told me that he's hearing 1 to 3. So I'm thinking best case scenario, the Raiders game, worst case scenario after the bye week. If I'm Dan Campbell, I'm saying, okay, he's going to miss this game. Is it worth the risk of putting David Montgomery in against the Raiders, or put him on the shelf, let him heal, have him come back with some extra padding after the bye week? That's probably what I would do. At least you didn't almost say Antoine Fisher. Yes, they do, but don't need jerk. That would be SOL, but don't knee jerk. That would be SOL. They will get this fixed. Okay, so I got a question for y'all. And I was seeing this in the comment section, and I want to have a legitimate conversation in the chat. We keep saying next man up about the running back, but I don't think y'all understand where we are. Okay, you know how let's say you're on the toilet, right? You're on the toilet. It's a little bit of tissue left. Okay. You got a 9 or 10-year-old son, never changes the tissue. So you're sitting on the toilet. You don't have a bidet, right? So you on the toilet and you run out of toilet paper. Now you're looking, you're scrambling. You look behind you to see if it's a roll behind you, and it ain't a roll behind you, right? So what do? You got to call somebody. You looking in that little thing that you got on the side of your toilet for some extra rolls. It ain't no extra rolls. Now what you got to do? You got to bother somebody, or you got to shimmy out of the bathroom, peek around the corner, and hit the tissue spot, right? That's where the Detroit Lions are at. We have 0 running back depth. There is none. We have none. There is not a running back on the practice squad at all. We have David Montgomery is going to miss. These are our running backs: Jahmyr Gibbs, Craig Reynolds, and a Divine Ozigbo. We have 0 depth at all. If somebody gets hurt in practice, we have nobody to go to at all. So I'm like, what are y'all watching? What are y'all watching? You don't have an emergency roll hitting nearby, rookie mistake. Okay, Casey, let me ask y'all. Where is your emergency toilet paper roll at? Within reach of your toilet. That don't stick out like a sore thumb. Fresh and Fly says the next man up is a practice squad player, and that's the situation. We are out of depth. We have none. And that's why the Leonard Fournette conversation is coming up. Rainbow Girl says, nice analogy. I know I'm pretty good at those. Is Snell hurt? I have no idea, but he is not on the roster at this moment. We could bring him back. Need to shimmy to that TV. Oh, ain't nothing like the TP shimmy. Hey, don't steal that, bro. That's mine. TP shimmy. So that's going to be an inside joke for everybody here as I spit on the table. Inside joke, the TP shimmy, man. That was Ozigbo. Ozigbo was the emergency toilet roll. So my thing is, should we get Leonard Fournette? Now, he's 28 years old. He has not played in the NFL this year. He has not been on the team at all. So I have a feeling the Detroit Lions are not going to do this. They would have to bring him in for a workout, and he would have to be on the roster by the weekend. I don't think they're going to do that. I think what they're going to do is bring in the people we already had. Make a mad dash to the cabinet for the TP. Hope you don't get caught. Is Mark Ingram for sure done? I assume he is since he's on a TV show. Justin, you know what? That's a good question. My wife just walked into that one at the worst time. Oh, man. Braylon says, I'm good on Fournette. Robin says, you just said, okay, y'all done went too far now. But all I'm saying, y'all, this is all I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I don't think they're going to do that, but we're out of depth. We have none. And I'm not worried, like, oh my God, like, but at the same time, we keep saying next man up, and now we're out of men. Okay, so we have no more men, aka toilet paper, right? We don't have any. Now we stuck on the toilet. That's where we at, and we need to get somebody in. And my thing is, Patty Grimes says trade for Elliott. They wouldn't do that. What's up, bro? What's up, Gibbs? I didn't know you was in. Okay, Rainbow Girl says, so Monty is out for sure 2 games, then back after the bye week. Okay, Rainbow Girl, so here's what happened. So about 6 o'clock this morning, Dave Burkett says that he is to miss some time. Now, Dan Campbell gets up on the podium at 4. We'll know at 4. I'm going to assume that he's going to for sure be out for this game, right? So then you have a choice. Oh, excuse me. You have a choice. Do you say, you know what? Let's put him on the shelf until after the bye week, seeing as how we got 1 game left? Or do you bring him in? My guess is that Dan's going to say, you know what? It's not a big deal. We'll shelve you, let you get fully healed. And instead of having 14 days, you have like, a whole month? Because David Montgomery will not play again until the first weekend in November. So you're talking about 3 weeks, almost a month. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think is going to happen. So it's not confirmed, but Dan will probably confirm it on the show today. You are right, but don't get worried too much. How did we do with 53 yards rushing yesterday? I will not panic anymore. Okay, so that's, you know what, Robin? And so I'm not panicked at all. That's not what this is. This is about depth, because our mentality all year long has literally been next man up from game 1 to now. But eventually you start running out of men, and that's where we are with the running back position. We have been very fortunate that our wide receiver room has been pretty stellar. And St. Brown goes out, somebody steps up. If this guy's out, right? So we haven't even really experienced too much there. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not worried. What I'm saying is we are out of bodies. We have none. And the practice squad is literally for that. At least we got like Dylan Drummond on the practice squad, right? But we have no more running backs. And now with Monty out, that means that it's Gibbs. And if Gibbs can't go, that means that our running backs are Craig Reynolds and Devine Ozigbo. That's all I'm saying. Depends on, okay, so his ribs are not broken. They were, the x-rays came back negative. Hopefully we can get an update on Gibbs, then we could run Gibbs. Listen, he did very good when he had to take over. When Monty missed because of the bruised thigh, he did extremely well. Extremely well, man. So, okay, hold on. We got to see if this... Yeah, let me bring this in. That was lit. Hey, Tampa Bay was lit yesterday. Hold on, let me see what this is here. Okay. All right, let me bring this in. This comes from our man Gibbs that's in the chat right now. He shared a video of folks at the game, man. Check this out. Oh, let me move that. I got my Tylenol, my gummies. Okay, let me bring this in. Y'all gonna love this. It's gonna be fantastic. All right, let me bring this in here. You know what? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm kind of all over the place. When I commit to this full time, then I will be able to do more like segments and legit stuff. But here it is, man. This is the Lions. Hopefully this is not too loud here. I mean, we took that spot over, bro. That's crazy. We took the spot over. We took it over, man. I'm telling you, listen, I saw it in Kansas City. And y'all need to go. If you have not been to a road game, home games are cool, but road games, man, are a whole different thing. And I would strongly suggest that you get to a road game, man. That's fantastic. You can see it in the crowd as well. The ribs are just bruised. Yes, they are bruised. But what I'm saying is, Aaron, Dave said he can miss some time. He's going to be out sometime. And if you think about some time, you're saying, okay, that's not one game. That's not two games. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm getting that from. I went to the game and the Lions delivered me a great birthday gift. That's what's up. All right. So I've been seeing some things about Jared Goff and he's being in the MVP conversation. Now, he's not going to win MVP. The narrative is just, I don't see them promoting or pushing him to MVP, but he could. Jared Goff is playing very well this year. Patrick Mahomes is not playing that great, even though they're 5-1. Brock Purdy, can you give it to him? You probably won't. I don't think I just don't think he's there yet for MVP. And Jalen Hurts is not playing that well either. Jalen Hurts has 7 INTs to 7 touchdowns. That's insane. Jared Goff added another touchdown. So now he has another 2. So he has 11 TDs and 3 picks, his second game with no interception. Jared Goff is the real deal, man. He'll be around for quite some time. You should go to Chicago Bears game. I was thinking about it, but it's going to be cold. You know what I might do, though? This is what I might do. If we lose this week at the watch party, like, I might take a break in November just to, because I don't believe in superstition, but I know y'all do. So I don't want nobody not to come like, man, every time we go there, we lose. So I might cancel that one and maybe go to the game, but it'll have to be like 50 degrees, man. If it's any lower than that, I'm not going to be able to go. What do you think about Jameson's performance yesterday? That's a good question. That's a very good question. So I got a question in the chat. Shout out to DYI. Says, what do you think about J-Mo's performance yesterday? Jameson Williams. He had 3 targets. He had 2 catches for 53 yards and a touchdown. His longest was 45 yards. Phenomenal job on the touchdown pass. However, you know I got to throw some however in there. In between those catches, it was a drop. He should have caught. He made up for it with a catch that really was difficult. It was the level in which of difficulty that catch was fantastic. I mean, it was up there. Over the shoulder, had to locate the ball. It was a really, really bad throw by Jared Goff, but I know why he threw it. He couldn't really extend his arm. He was protecting himself from probably getting a wrist fracture or something like that because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were breathing down his neck. So it was a really, really nasty ball, but it was just enough to get over Jameson Williams, even though he had to slow down. Jameson had a step. I can't wait to see that on the All-22. I'll probably be talking about it tomorrow for a video once that comes out. But I think his performance was if I had to rate it, I'll say 7 out of 10. I say 7 out of 10. I would say 5 out of 10. I mean, I really would if it wasn't for the difficulty of the catch. Now, here's a stat for you. Jameson Williams, his 2 touchdowns in the National Football League are all over 40 yards. They're both over 40 yards. So I want to see more of that, though. I want to see consistency. I want to see next game. And here's what I'll say about J-Mo. You could see, I knew Jameson Williams getting into this game was going to be a problem because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they blitz 50% of the time, and they were in the backfield 9 times out of 10. They were just breathing down Jared Goff's neck. And I'm saying, okay, Jameson Williams, if you asking for my honest opinion, I think that it was obvious at the beginning that Ben Johnson, Jameson Williams has to earn the trust of his offensive coordinator. He has to earn the trust of Jared Goff. And you can see very early, I don't think they trusted him to be where he needed to be when he needed to be there, right? It was the St. Brown show yesterday. Josh Reynolds got involved. Marvin Jones got involved. And then when we went to Jameson Williams, he caught it. He came back for it, caught it, dropped the same exact catch that he just made a couple plays earlier, and then make makes an outstanding catch over that. I'm looking at and I see it, and the ball is outside of the screen, and I'm looking, and I'm like, how did he see that? How did he see it? He turned left, he turned right. It was like the Lion King. He turns around, man, and then the level of difficulty for that catch, and that's what we've been wanting to see. And those are the things that get us excited. If he keeps doing that, fix the drop. He got to fix the drops, though. We got to be real. Like, we got to be real. But outside of that, man, I would say 7 out of 10, a good 7 out of 10 for Jameson Williams. Wynn says 8 out of 10. He get a C grade from me. I know you're taking it slow, but he got to get a couple more targets. But see, that's the thing, the ones you could tell in a situation like that, when the plan of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is to blitz, blitz, and blitz. That's what they did yesterday. You cannot wait for Jameson Williams to get open. So you got to go short. And we've seen Jameson Williams with short passes, right? He'll catch one, he'll drop one, but you could see them because you start watching them. You're like, okay. And there was a play where he was one-on-one. He was probably open, but Jared Goff couldn't get it to him. You could see them. And I said it during my live stream. I said they trying to set something up for J-Mo. You can see him up top. You can see him down at the bottom of the screen. And eventually, man, they got it. And when he caught the ball, it was off a play action pass. Like, that's how we're going to get this guy more involved. But I was happy to see it, and I want to see more of it. I want to see him get a touchdown at least every other game. I mean, we were talking about on Friday a breakout game for Jameson Williams, and I mean, this is as close as we're going to get right now, because that touchdown really separated. That was when we pulled away in the game, and it was a dogfight. I mean, St. Brown was the difference in that game. Then Jameson Williams catches that ball, and that is what set us apart. So I loved it. I want to see more, but he got to clean up the drops, though. The Dern is correct. No, the throw was to the left. What are we talking about? Reynolds was a super clutch. I think the 49ers, Eagles, and Chiefs can be beat, and the Miami is giving us a fight to the Super Bowl. Okay, if we played the Miami Dolphins, who y'all think win? Who y'all think win? And yeah, we gotta. You know what? I don't think we extend Josh Rainbow. I think we have to re-sign him, because that means if we extended him, it'd have to be, unless we did it like after the season, but before the new league year. So we could technically still extend him, I guess, because I think you are under contract until the new league year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how that works. Braylon says Miami sounds like a good scenario. If we fully healthy, we're beating the Dolphins. Lions win. I was talking about the drop wasn't on J-Mo. Goff was hit. Okay, Dern, nope. Don't do that, bro. Don't do it. It hit him in the arms. You cannot do that. No, sir. I'm not doing that, bro. It hit Jameson Williams in both of his arms. You got to catch it. If it hits you, you got to catch it, bro. That's a nasty game. Comes down to the wire. Okay. I don't know. See, y'all trying to, okay, I can't be a homer, but I have to be realistic. So can I be realistic? Yes, I can. All right. This is my show. I'm going to be realistic. The Miami Dolphins, the Lions don't have the personnel to compete with that speed. So that leads me to a great point. We need a pass rusher. We need a pass rusher. Okay. I don't want to hear about Jerry Jacobs and how he played yesterday, because if Isaiah Bucks does not bat that ball, Mike Evans, if he catches the ball, is walking into the end zone. Okay. We can look at it on at the R22. I'm not trying to roast Jerry Jacobs, but let's stop playing and pretending like he's good. He's okay. He's okay. He can tackle like nobody's business. He does not miss tackles, okay? He gets away with a lot of stuff, and he should have had a pick yesterday. Should have did it. I'm not trying to take anything away from Jerry Jacobs, but something we need more. And if we play the Miami Dolphins, what we have Brian Branch, he might be able to help. Okay, Kirby Joseph, Tracy Walker lighting people up. But the scheme to beat the Miami Dolphins is going to have to be flawless, because everyone on their team has speed. Their running back has speed. They even brought in Chase Claypool to do whatever he gonna do, right? So I think that if we scheme right, we can beat the Miami Dolphins. But before that, we got to get there. We have to get there. J-Mo is a big-time confidence type player. He needs to perform. It was never much in my body. Yes, there you go. Chris says, I want Chase Young. Can you imagine the number of trick plays between Ben Johnson and Miami? And you know what? That's the best part about yesterday is whatever confidence he was lacking, which it seems like he didn't. Oh, excuse me. Based on conversation, like you talk to him, you're like, man, I was built for this. I love this. No, I'm not really thinking about it. But was he really? Probably. He probably was. And now, after a catch like that, you gotta be hype. You gotta be hype, man. What's up, Ronit? Says Lions have that. What is that? Spurtability on offense that could prove out well going forward. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. They didn't, and all that matters. Ibuprofen. What are you talking about? More worried about the Eagles than the Dolphins. Did y'all hear that DeAndre Swift fumbled yesterday? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Our secondary will get roasted by Miami with Williams. I just be keeping it a buck, man. I just be keeping it a buck. I would say the same options before the trade deadline is Chase Young, Pat Surtain, Crosby, or Ryan Burns. Okay, let's get it. All right, so we talked about, I have been talking about a pass rusher since I've been on this platform. I have been talking about a pass rusher every single segment that we've had on this show. Why? Why, you might ask? Well, I'll tell you why. Game one, we don't touch Patrick Mahomes. We don't really get to him, right? As far as a sack, Patrick rarely gets sacked. That's what he does. Then we get to Chase. We get to, what's the dude's name? Geno Smith. Now we get him on like a fluke running back, 17-yard loss. Okay, cool. Now we get to game three. Who are we playing? The miserable Desmond Ridder, who will be benched very, very soon. We get 7 sacks. Oh, the world is going crazy. Ooh, you get a sack, you get a sack, you get a sack, right? Now we play who? Jordan. I don't know what the heck I'm doing, Love, right? We get another 5 sacks. You get a sack, you get a sack, you get a sack. Since that time, we have 2 sacks. We have 15 on the season. 15 on the season. You know who got a sack yesterday? We wouldn't even got a sack if Baker would have got 1 more yard on a scramble. 1 more yard, it would have been no gain. Instead, it was a sack, a loss of 1, and we have a sack. Now, you might be saying, well, somebody in my comment section was like, what would you prefer? This, blah, 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 all these sacks, but we don't win, or we get this and that, and we win the game. We have 1 sack. Of course, I'm going to take a win, but what I'm saying is look at the competition that we're playing. Look at who we're playing. If we're going to battle with the big dogs, we need a defensive pass rush. We got Jerry. We just talked about, before this segment began, about the Miami Dolphins and the ability to compete with the speed of their team. If we don't touch Tua, we're not going to be able to compete. Now, what do we need to do? Brad Holmes needs to make a move for a pass rusher. I'm talking not, I don't want mom and pop. I don't want a mom and pop pass rusher. Don't you bring me one. I want you to bring me a pass rusher. Yes, last year we traded. We were sellers at the trade deadline. Bring me a dog. I'm talking about off the leash, because that's what's going to make a difference. We had a Levi sighting. That is true. Josh says we need Brian Burns. Does Brad get calls about Hooker at the trade deadline, Rick? He absolutely does, but that we can talk about that after this segment. Baker tried to play hero ball a bit. That's what he does. Burns and Hutch will be insane. We need Young. Okay, so I'm going to ask you the question. As the trade deadline gets closer and closer and closer, teams start losing. Washington won yesterday. Carolina did lose yesterday. They're now 0-6. The Minnesota Vikings won. Okay, they're now 2-4. Who would you want? Okay, let's break them down very quickly. Max Crosby. If Max, it's not going to happen. Okay, without, everyone has a price, but Brad Holmes is not going to pay that price in draft capital and in funds. So let's check him off. He would be great, but he's unrealistic. There are 3 guys that are realistic for this team: Chase Young, Danielle Hunter, and Brian Burns. Okay. As I start to narrow them down, it's all about who loses more, who's willing to give up what. Carolina is in rebuild mode. Brian Burns is on an expiring contract. Okay. They might be likely to part, but will Brad Holmes want to pay the price? You got Danielle Hunter, had a sack yesterday. He has 7 on the season. Okay. He's expiring contract. I know we talked about him in a previous segment. Okay, but he's still a dog. Then you have Chase Young. They won yesterday. Washington is sitting at 500, somewhere around there, I believe. Will they be willing to give up any of these guys, right? We want to look for losing teams. That's probably teams that are like we were last year. But we didn't sell because we were losing. We sold because we didn't want to deal with TJ Hawkinson, and we weren't going to pay him, right? So Speaking of paying, there's one thing that keeps coming up. What hasn't Brad Holmes done? He has not overpaid or paid really anybody, right? He hasn't really done. I think the highest paid Lion might be Cam's, not Lion, but like contract that he's dished out is Cam Sutton. I want to say that. But I feel like for the right player at the right price at the right time, he is going to pay out. And I tell you what, if you haven't seen him and his reaction, he was at the game yesterday in the booth. He came down to the field and he high-fived Lions fans. I'm talking about dislocated shoulders. This dude is hype, which tells me this is just me doing my thing on YouTube and watching this team. I feel like Brad Holmes is in the buyer mode, and he's like, you know what? We need to get Hutchinson some help. We need to get him some help. My honest opinion is he is going to have an eye on a game-wrecking pass rusher. I would love to know your thoughts. Chase Young is going to do us a couple favors just by being where he's at. I am not sure I want to give up any capital. I would give back. This I say to Minnesota. Listen, I'd be like, look, we got you with J-Mo. We got you with TJ. I know you mad at us, but come on, man. Come on. Let's do this one last time. I'll get him the TJ Hawkinson pick back. 3rd round pick. If we do get a pass rusher, I would prefer Burns over Young because Chase Young seems to be more injury prone. Okay, can we do this? Did Chase Young get hurt yesterday? Did Chase Young get hurt yesterday? Because we talk about injury prone and did he get hurt yesterday? Somebody tell me if you know, did he get hurt? Okay, so Chase Young did not get hurt yesterday. Injury prone. Injury prone is a person that gets hurt over and over and over. That is injury prone. If you have your ACL blown out, that's not injury prone, right? By a hit or something like that. You could call Emmanuel Mosley injury prone. Game setting, it's sad, but you could call him injury prone. So Chase Young he's out for a year. He takes a full year to recover. And then the year he comes back, he's doing pretty well. And I don't know if he got any sacks yesterday or anything like that. Now, we've got the logical option is Chase. He's the youngest of the bunch. Then it's Brian Burns, and then it's Daniil. I'll tell you the truth. Give me any one of them. Any one of them at this point, because our team is trying to win. We're trying to go all the way. We're winning now, but we're trying to go all the way. You know how we keep Jalen Hurts from the stupid brotherly shove? We keep them from that situation. You know how? By driving him into the ground. And we don't have that on this team. We don't. And I'm trying to understand a couple things, but we'll talk about that in a different segment. Lions have fleeced every team in their division. I'm not worried about losing draft capital. We will be fine missing a few draft picks. Job is done in the draft for the rebuild. That is true. Brad Holmes would hang out at the dollar store. They could extend, restructure Goff for maybe make a splash at the trade deadline. Jacobs is having the money out year. Grant Hill is injury prone. Minus Hutch. Any one of those bigs will be an upgrade. So my thing is this. We need somebody to help Hutch. If you look at yesterday, he was gassed. And if you take our body of work, and everybody got kind of sidetracked by the big sacks. I didn't get sacked. I didn't get sidetracked because I knew who we were playing. And as I'm watching Desmond Ridder, I'm watching him hold the ball longer than Carson Wentz. And he will be out of the league very soon if he keeps doing that. So those are my thoughts. Let me know yours down below. Okay, trade for LA for Donald and Derrick Henry. So here's the thing. We have to be logical. And my opinion is logical. Okay. We talked about this in Friday's show. I'm not giving up 2 firsts for Patrick Surtain. I'm just not. David, I did not. Hold on, let me find it. I'm glad you got it. Derek, hey Derek, how do you feel about Aaron Rodgers throwing without a cast on? You know what? I'm surprised. It's been 6 weeks since he got hurt. No, 5. He got hurt 5 weeks ago today. Yeah. No. It's been less than 5 weeks. He got hurt 35 days ago. And that's insane. I mean, what you can do. But you know what? Cam Akers came back in like 4 months. So it's possible. So James Houston is eligible to come off IR. Not sure he will. We haven't heard anything on that. I'm sure they'll ask Dan Campbell about that tonight at 4:00. And also CJ Gardner-Johnson is expected. He can come off too, but he won't. Would you rather have a Super Bowl ring and we trade it for some huge names like the Rams did back in 21, but we don't have draft picks for a few years? Okay, Justin, no, I wouldn't. If you're talking to me, no, I wouldn't. But that's not what I'm saying do. I don't know how long you've been watching the show, but that's not what I'm saying do. Wild question, but do you trade Goff next year and get a few draft picks? Chris, no. I know it's wild. I know Goff is about to be extended. He's about to be extended. That is a very wild question. I think that Hendon Hooker is more likely to be traded than Goff get traded. And that's just real. That's real. Lions O-line and running game plus play action is deadly when Lions are healthy. That's true. Goff won that game yesterday with no running game for the most of it. Ronan, that's facts. So Kansas City, they had more. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 6 more rushing yards. We had 40 yards, 40 tough yards. Craig Reynolds came in there. I mean, I want to say that David Montgomery was the biggest run of the day. Like that run that he got injured on. That was a huge run. Got us a first down. Man, I hope that he can come back sooner than later. But Goff is not going anywhere. Branch fleeced, Montgomery fleeced, Hawk trade fleeced, Laporta draft, fleece. But to answer your question, bro, Brad, I'm not saying do that. That's a forget them picks type. That's a sellout. We're not going to sell out. What I'm saying is as you become a good team, you can afford to give up some draft picks, right? So let's take the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins have had monster first round picks. I remember in 2 years, I want to say in 2 years, they had 5 first round picks. Look how long it took them to get where they are. I think they got a pick for Minkah Fitzpatrick, like a couple or something like that. I think they had 3 in 1 year. Then they had, I think the year Tua was drafted, I want to say they had 3. Then they had 2 the year after that. And they've been building through the draft. And yet they've gone nowhere. And now this year, and what did they do? Oh, there you go. Hey, I'm walking away, bro, because I'm about to prove my point. So let me walk away. Oh, yeah. I'm about to prove my point. Man. Who do the Miami Dolphins have that broke this team open? I'll wait. You know, being right is not, it is cracked up what it is. It's cracked. Everything is cracked up to be. Being right, I love it. Who did the Miami Dolphins trade for to take them over the top? I'll wait. Okay, Tyreek Hill. There you go. You got to move the needle. They had all them draft picks. But yet, Tyreek Hill is the one that took them over. Okay? He left a Super Bowl winning team and a team that's won a Super Bowl since he's been gone to go to Miami Dolphins. No, Ramsey. Ramsey ain't even taking a snap for them in a game. Tyreek Hill, okay? Why do I keep talking about a game-changing player? We just had a conversation about the Miami Dolphins. Somebody asked a question about would I be willing to trade a bunch of picks to win a Super Bowl and then be in a rebuild for like the next couple years or something like that. And I said no, but I still believe that something needs to happen. And the perfect example is the Miami Dolphins. They've had monster first round picks. They had 3 in 2020. I think it was 2020, starting with Tua. They had like the 5th pick, the 11th pick. No, it was 5, 18, and something else. And then the year after that, they had 2 more first round picks. We've had 2 first round picks for 2 years in a row, right? So what did they do to finally take them over the top? They could never get there. I remember one year the Miami Dolphins they went on a 7-game streak to win, but because they're in the AFC, they had a winning record, I want to say, and missed out on the playoffs. They make a move for explosive Tyreek Hill. Now they got the fastest offense in the league. Okay? They took a chance. They made a move that made a difference, and that's what I feel like our team needs to do. Tyreek is the reason Miami is 5-1. I don't think there's a true game changer you can get at the trade deadline, though. Okay, it depends for me. Where you looking at? Game changer at the trade deadline. Okay, so I'm going to put it back on you. Y'all know who I want. And I'm going to be honest. I backed off the receiver train. If I looked at it yesterday and I saw Mike Evans was really it. He was the last guy as far as wide receiver that I was like, you know what? We could get him. But you know what I would have done? If I'm Brad Holmes, if I'm not going to make a move for Mike Evans, and I mean, we still don't know. He could. Mike Evans has still changed his team. But what I saw yesterday, I don't know if he didn't want to be there. He was coming back from injury. He just didn't look himself yesterday, right? So I'm thinking about it. And I'm wondering, I would have taken Van Jefferson. Give me Van Jefferson, and I'll trade for a defensive end at the trade deadline. So I'm gonna back off a receiver. I still think we need depth. Maybe we can bring Chase Cota from the Chief Practice Squad. I don't know how that works, seeing as how he went over there. But is there a true game changer that the Detroit Lions could get at the trade deadline? I seem to think it is, but I don't know. Now I talked about Jerry Jeudy, and that didn't go over too well. Cortland Sutton, I would say no. He don't seem like he got it either. So I don't know. But if I had to choose between wide receiver and defensive end, I'm going to pick a defensive end because as we brought up the Miami Dolphins at the beginning, okay, we don't have the personnel to hang with them. Not a lot of teams do. And as you can see yesterday, the Detroit Lions in the Tampa Bay game were playing zone a lot because they don't have the coverage. You cannot trust Jerry Jacobs to guard Chris Godwin. He's not a great cover corner, right? So he got away with some things, made some plays. He's a great tackler. So we would have to play in zone a lot against that team. We also were missing Brian Branch, and I'm sure he would have loved to lay the wood on somebody. Depends on the position. I can't think of any besides the one we talked about. We have the right guys in the locker room, like Coach Campbell said. I don't think we need a wide receiver. DE all day, wide receiver, we are fine. Robert says win now. Mike Evans is still hurt. He was more of a decoy yesterday. That could be. Yeah, he had a rough game. Dropped a couple passes. He looked like he was frustrated yesterday. So here's my thing. Why do I keep pressing a trade? Because sometimes you can't be afraid. And I'm not saying in Miami, if you look at Miami, they were sellers a ton. They didn't really buy. They just sold, and then whammo, they bought Tyreek Hill, and look at them now. That's what I want from my team. They're not struggling. They haven't regressed in draft capital. They're still the same. They're getting better. They drafted Jalen Waddle. I mean, they're doing their thing. We can do the same thing. So I would love to see the Detroit Lions make a move. I mean, we have free agency coming up. The problem with a lot of the names that I'm mentioning are the fact that they're on expiring contracts. So you're talking about wrapping up a deal before the trade even goes through, giving him an extension with the trade. And I don't know how possible that is, but let me know your thoughts. Hey, did they do the Hill trade during the season? I want to say it was the offseason. It was the offseason. They traded for both, not at the same time, but Tyreek Hill was during the offseason. With Josh Reynolds and Jones, we have depth at wide receiver. Okay, Ronan. See, I don't necessarily agree with that, bro, because if you look at the depth chart, we have after Marvin Jones. Okay, so we have Marvin Jones, St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Antoine Green, Josh Reynolds, and then we have did I say Antoine Green? And then we have Dylan Drummond and Khalif Raymond. There we go. So we have 7 guys. So I think that we could use 1 or 2 more. That's just because, I mean, we got Laporta and Gibbs and all that stuff. So I wouldn't be mad at 1. When I was talking about wide receiver, I'm talking about send Marvin Jones to the bench and get a guy. So now you got J-Mo. And I mean, maybe Josh Reynolds maybe Jameson Williams is the only deep threat we need. My thing was this: put 1 on the left, 1 on the right, let him go. That's what I'm saying. And I thought Mike Evans would be that guy, but I don't know. I mean, hey, Palmer, the other dude, was burning the whole team yesterday. Baker just couldn't put it there. But that dude, I want to say I was watching some Buccaneers shows, and they said he's the fastest person on the team, and Baker was overthrowing him. I didn't know, man, Baker, he still got that thing, man. He was launching it yesterday. I was like, where'd he get that arm from? Where did he get that arm from? Brad, is Minnesota going through a rebuild? Probably get Hunter for cheap. Daniil? Okay, let me ask you this. I already know what y'all going to say. I was watching some Raiders podcast yesterday, and they think Hunter Renfrow is getting traded. Would you trade for Hunter Renfrow? He does what St. Brown does. Brad is a villain, and is going to shock Ronan. I do agree. And you know what? It's not even about being a villain for me. It's about we're trying to win. We haven't been in a position to sell or to buy. We have not. If you watch, so this is how I've come to the conclusion of being buyers. Like, I'm hoping that Brad Holmes does this, A, to make my team better, and B, I want to be right. I want to be right because I've been watching this team and just, I have no inside information. I'm just using like the power of observation, right? And picking stuff up. I'm observing that we need a pass rush. We don't have one. I'm observing that Brad Holmes wants to win. And it's like the Lions fan base, you know what I haven't heard this year is we're in year 3 of a rebuild. I was telling y'all that, not y'all specifically, but I was mentioning that last year. I was saying that over and over and over that nobody's going to be talking about year 3 of a rebuild. Then you see Brad Holmes on the Insiders and he's talking about Jared Goff. I told everyone that he was not a bridge quarterback. I told everyone that. Oh, and every single year, Lions fans, some content creators were trying to draft quarterbacks. And I said, no, it's not going to happen. Then he goes on the Insiders and says it was a lazy narrative. And I'm like, okay, I've told everybody we're going to extend Jared Goff. Hendon Hooker will be traded before Jared Goff is not here because it is much better to get much easier to get worse in quarterback than it is to get better. And when you have a good thing, you don't let it go. Because we went over it on Friday. How many teams, you think the Atlanta Falcons would take Jared Goff? You think the Washington Commanders would take Jared Goff? We've said at least half the league would take Jared Goff as a quarterback. And Washington, by the way, has called twice. They've called every offseason to try to get, and that's drafting Hendon Hooker. If they go wide receiver, I wouldn't mind Cam Sutton. Cam Sutton is our cornerback. Trent, who are you talking about? Hey, Nick, you spitting facts, bro. It's been 6 games, and hey, speaking of that, let's take a moment to embrace this. How good does it feel? How good does it feel, Lions fans, to be 5-1 into week 6? And for the first time in God knows how long, we ain't talking about a mock draft. We not having a way too early mock draft. We talking about seeding. We're talking about the first seed. We're talking about home field advantage throughout the playoffs. We're talking about clinching the division. Couldn't talk for a second. I'm tongue-tied. How good does it feel? I was trying to tell y'all, yes, last year, we have to stop with the loser's mentality. Losing is in our DNA. We have to get it out. I've been telling y'all that. Y'all like tank for Jalen Carter, tank for this, tank for that. It was tank for Tua. It was even tank for Tua back in 2020. I mean, come on, guys. Winning feels great. I never, ever want to lose. Now you see why I get so mad. I refuse. And then I think about the culture of this team. This team is an embodiment of their head coach. You think Dan Campbell's a quitter? You think anybody on your team is a quitter? Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. The one says that's PTSD. Well, you know what? Let's drink some Kool-Aid together. Let's drink some of that blue Kool-Aid. The Honolulu Blue, the Kool-Aid. That's why the name of this show is called Spike Kool-Aid, because Lions fans have needed a little something extra to get through this Kool-Aid, to get through the seasons. The Matt Patricia, the 0-16, the Dan Orlovsky running out the back of the end zone. Right now it's a running thing. We have to get used to winning. Get used to winning. Says now Lions could trade Bridgewater and get a quality pass rusher now. Hooker as a backup. Thoughts? Okay, let me pin that. I'll come back to that. So my thing is this. Nick, that was a fantastic thought, bro. Ronan says, I'm in my 66 years, never. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying we have to be willing. We have to get used to this. And I know it's hard. But like Nick said, not a single mock draft. If I started a mock draft right now, nobody would be paying attention. And I know we're not used to this, but get used to it, because Dan Campbell's going to be here for a long time. Brad Holmes is going to be here for a long time. Jared Goff is going to be here for the foreseeable future. I could see him retiring a Detroit Lion. I'm going to keep it real. If he get a 3-year extension, him and Hendon Hooker contract will be up at the exact same time. And do we go with and they're only 3 years apart now. So I'm not saying I don't want to see Hooker get some love because, but we're trying to win. And Jared Goff is throwing down, like he's playing very, very well. So we have to get used to, it feels good, right? To be not talking about with the first pick, with the 10th pick. I mean, whenever you think about this, I want you to go back to 2 years ago. I want you to go back to when our team was 0-1, 0-2, 0-3, and we were right there. Even with that team that we had, the injured DeAndre Swift, the Jamal Williams, even when we had the Tyrell, Williams, the Brashard Perriman that didn't make the team, Kadero Hodge, when we were finding out what St. Brown was, and we were 0-9, 0-10. Then we got that stupid tie. Think about when you start thinking about losing. Like, I'm gonna tell you, if the Lions lose to the Ravens, I'm gonna be like, dang, we should have beat them. I think we can beat the Ravens. I really, really do. They have no offense. Their offense is one guy. His name is Lamar Wilson. That's his name. I'm sorry, Lamar Jackson. They have one guy, right? We can beat them. But if we lose, I'm not gonna be like, oh, SOL. Oh, here we go again. Good teams lose. It happens. Niners lost. Eagles lost. They good teams, and so are we. Matter of fact, we the third best team in the NFL. Get used to it, Lions fans. Enough. And I don't ever, ever, ever be satisfied with losing. The Lions playoff home city been needing something like that forever. Yeah, man, I'm done with SOL. No soul. I like that, bro. We need to get some shirts made called No Soul. Like No Soul selling it at a Kool-Aid stand near you. Matter of fact, you know what? I should get a drink called No Soul. We need another DT to pressure. Hey, applying pressure. I don't want to hear it, bro. I don't want to hear it. This ain't directed toward you, but I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm going to tell you why. Why don't you think I want to hear about a DT? Goff is the the embodiment of a confident QB. Even when things break, he just grounds and goes back to the next play smart. I mean, and Jared Goff is tough. I mean, Stafford is tough too. He was tough, and Stafford used to get lit up. But Jared Goff ain't no scrub either. He got punished yesterday. He had to throw the ball 44 times because the run game wasn't working. 44 times. And he got punished yesterday. Any sport winning is a formula. With this, Goffense is built around a formula of producing offense. We need a similar defensive formula from winning. Braylon says SOL died when we beat the Chiefs. I agree with that, Braylon. Appreciate you, man. Gig says we need to put Broderick Martin in, and that's why. That's why. I just think if we got Deron Payne. Yeah. Feels awesome. In the past 6 weeks, I've had 5 awesome weeks and 1 bad. Winning changes. What, Rainbow? You was in a win-win situation. That's what you were in. Shake and Bake with the Dono. Appreciate you. Said Stephen A. just declared the Lions the best team in the NFC at this current time. They're the best team in the NFC. One pride, go Lions. Appreciate that, bro. We started the show with that. You know what? Broderick has no talent. Broderick, no talent. Martin. Evan says, have you considered? We got a question. And this is a question from Evan. And Evan, what I'm about to do, okay, don't take this personal because none of this is personal. But your question is, have you considered that there is a reason that the coaches are not playing Martin? Yes, I have. I have considered that. I really have. So when we talk about bringing a DT, that's why I say I don't want to hear it, because we have a DT who's not even suited up. And I've considered that. But my question is, when Lions fans say we need to get a DT, I'm like, why? We have one. Not only do we have one, but we traded up to get this guy. I'm sitting there and I hear da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. With, I think it was 96. With pick 96, the Detroit Lions select Broderick Martin from wherever. And everybody's typing, who? Who is this guy? They're looking up scouting reports, trying to find out he's running down 6 flights of stairs because he didn't see it coming either. So my thing is, we got the DT, a monster of a man in the middle, 3+, 350, whatever he is, 330, big dude, right? Big dude. But he ain't even dressed. So why we going to go get Deron Payne? Why we going to get a Jeffrey Simmons? Why we going to do that? Why we going to give up capital to go get a guy when we gave up capital to go get a guy? That's all I'm saying. And I patiently wait every Sunday, an hour and a half before kickoff, to see Broderick Martin's name, or Broderick. I keep calling him Broderick. Broderick Martin's name not on the inactive list. Right now, I just want to, can I get a photo of the dude in the uniform? That's all I'm saying. That we don't even have a photo of him in the uniform. That's all I'm saying. So for me, I don't want to trade. And I'm saying to myself, okay, why couldn't you just wait? If you thought, and I'm not like, I don't trust Brad Holmes and all that stuff and trust the process and blah, blah. Sometimes mistakes happen. I'm not saying he's a mistake. What I'm saying is, we got a guy that we gave up capital to get. Why would we give up more capital to go get a guy that does exactly what we drafted him to do? That's all I'm saying. Martin is not a pass rush DT. Martin is 24. How long is he going to be a project? I mean, DE, if we trade. So that's my thing. So again, not directed at you. I'm not all that. I'm just saying we have a guy. The dude isn't even dressed. He has been inactive every single game. A 3rd round pick. Let me ask you a question. And this goes for the chat. People watching on playback. Kirby Joseph, 3rd round pick. Ife Melifonwu, 3rd round pick, right? Who else we got? Let's go down the list. 3rd round picks. If you list off our 3rd round picks, most of them are playing, right? But this 3rd round pick is, not only is he not playing, he's not dressed, he's not active. That's all I'm saying. So I personally don't want to get a Jeffrey Simmons, a Quinnen Williams, a Deron Payne, and we traded up for a guy that is not even suited to play. That I'm trying to figure out why. How is he going to get any better if you don't put the guy in, right? I don't know. We talking about it with Jameson Williams, right? Let J-Mo eat. Feed J-Mo. Why don't we feed Broderick? Why don't we feed big man Martin? That's all I'm saying. Martin is a space eater. Tell me why 3rd round is a project to begin with. That's all I'm trying to find out, Rainbow. If he turns out to be a force, I could care less. When he was drafted, time was tell. But what I'm saying is, we can't tell RG because he's not in the game. He doesn't. Matter of fact, he don't even need his uniform washed. He don't even need it washed. It's hanging in his locker. They probably got, look, his name tag ain't even on his uniform. And I'm just trying to figure out, and that's, ladies and gentlemen, why I do not want a DT. We already have one. If we already have one. Put him in. Put him in. Put him in. Put him in. That's all I'm saying. So help Hutchinson out with some outside help and put the big man in the middle. I've had this conversation and I'm going to keep having it. If you whack, then okay, you made a mistake. But at least put him in and see what he can do. At least. Because he has no talent and I'm sticking with it. Broderick is training for the tush push. Well, he wouldn't even be on. Oh, I see what you mean. To stop it. Greg, you making too much sense. Hey, I usually do. Mister. I really do. And you know what? The more sense you make on this platform, the dumber you look. And that's a fact, man. Because what I noticed on this platform is that everybody, there are like, you have, for every, I would say 2 leaders, there's 8 followers. There's people that just, it's like the Pied Piper. And I'm not one of those guys. I'm not that guy. I'm going to step over here while the crowd is over here. And I'm going to stay over here. You know what I'm saying? I don't think James Houston is I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all love James Houston. Y'all really love James Houston. I'm like, What's up, Larry? You came right when we was about to get off, my brother. As a matter of fact, we out of time. I like to thank my guest, the incredible, everybody in the chat, everybody but Larry. No, man, I'm messing with you, bro. But we got to go, man. I got to go pick up the kiddo. It is that time. But listen, we'll be back on Wednesday. Make sure y'all show some love to Nick tomorrow, all right? And I will see you on Wednesday. Have a great day. Ryan says, hey, Derek, we should trade Jared Goff. Y'all are crazy, man. Don't forget the live watch party is this Sunday as well, man. Take care. I'll see you next time. Peace.
bouncing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the Motor City, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the Motor City, everything ain't pretty but it's love though. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah.